Hey everyone, this is Jamie. I'm just coming in to let you know that this episode is actually a two-parter, just because we went a lot longer than we were expecting ongoing. So part 2 will be coming out next week as our second episode. Subscribe to us on iTunes. You'll get an update or wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. To the greatest podcast with the greatest intro of all time.
See, they keep trying to kill us, Jamie, but we come back from the dead every time. You can't put us down, can you?
Just like the Star Wars franchise.
Hey.
This is the Stop Listening Now podcast. I am Jamie.
I am Bobby.
Hi. We gathered here today to witness the just absolute demolishing of the Star Wars franchise. Yeah, this episode we're going to be talking about
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, there's a chance that this episode might be split up into two parts, depending on how long it is, because we have
a lot of
9/10 movies and a bit of an animated series to talk about, and then rank the movies at the end.
Yep.
So it might get split up. So this might be a two-part, re-premiere. Would that count?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a season premiere. This is season 3 of the Stop Listening Now podcast.
Season 3.
Put your pants on. That's the tagline for this season.
Put your
pants on.
All right, that's fair.
All right.
But yeah, real quick, we're gonna go through the movies in release order. Of course, starting with the prequel trilogy. Going through, we're also going to be including the standalone movies. I'm not really going to talk a lot about what happens in one of the standalone movies because I didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it.
But yeah, we're going to go through, talk about them, and then at the end, we're going to rank our movies. And then in whatever order we do that, we'll figure that out at the end.
Yeah. It's a party.
So let's get it started.
Start where it all began.
In episode 1.
Phantom Menace. The first Star Wars movie of all time.
Ever made. Of all time.
Yeah.
Out of all of them. It's this movie called THX 800 or whatever it was fucking called. Whatever that stupid George Lucas movie he made before Star Wars. Anyways. A New Hope. Episode 4. It's okay.
Yeah. Honestly, never really got a lot of the hyperbole around this movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of just okay. Like,
yeah.
I respect it for what it is because it started the whole thing, but like honestly, it's just all right. Like every time I watch it, to me it's so obvious that it was not meant to be a movie with sequels.
Yeah.
And none of what happens, like none of the extended universe was thought of at all. And like that's just a known fact. Like it's been said by George Lucas that he didn't think of the extended universe while making that movie. And it's so fucking obvious when you're watching it.
It's so obvious.
Dude, there's literally a part where Obi-Wan Kenobi calls Darth Vader. Oh, he does. He calls Darth Vader Darth as if that's his first name. Because they hadn't written the idea that Darth wasn't his first name.
Yeah.
Like
well,
his mom saw him as a baby, went, I'll name him Darth. Like,
I'll name him Darth.
What the fuck?
Well, there was also someone who woke up one day, had a baby, and was like, I'm going to name you Qui-Gon. So it's like... And there's someone who woke up and was like, I'm going to name you Obi.
Do you think that all... This is a total sidetrack. Do you think that all Star Wars babies are named the same way Luke and Leia are, with like 0.2 seconds of thought put into it? Because that was my favorite part of Revenge of the Sith is when the babies are born.
Palpatine's first name is Sheev, so...
Fair. There wasn't much thought put into that, so I guess it all makes sense. Yeah. All right,
the math all adds up.
A New Hope.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like... Even though it's very clear that, and as you said, well documented, that A New Hope was meant to be a standalone movie, like it's still very clear that like a lot of thought and care went into the world, at least, and in the world building, and like every other Star Wars movie, the music is great.
Oh, 100%. Best part of the movie is the music.
Yeah, like the score for the movie's awesome. But yeah, it's just okay. Like it's not bad, it's not great. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't get people that say it's their favorite. I've seen many people say that New Hope is their favorite, and that just like it's fun. Like, well, of course, like what you like, don't like what you don't like, but like,
yeah,
to me, like there's just so many. There's like Empire does everything that A New Hope does better. Also, people that complain that The Force Awakens is just a remake of A New Hope, it's a better version of A New Hope. Like,
it is.
Yeah, sure, it's a remake of A New Hope, but it's better in literally every way. So, yeah, that's my take on A New Hope there.
I agree. I do think it's a better New Hope. But yeah, it's okay. Like that's the one downside, because it's like it's such a wet towel of like a movie to start on. Mm-hmm. Because like we're like, and we're gonna talk about the Star Wars movies, and then the very first one we talk about, we're like, it's okay.
See, but here's the benefit of doing it this way, okay? Because then we get to jump right into a fucking banger, one of the best movies ever made, straight up masterpiece.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back is such a fucking good movie. It should be illegal.
It should be illegal. Like, how fucking good it is. I rewatched it. So like, people listening, Bobby and I both, I didn't finish my watch through, sadly, but I at least got through the prequels and the original trilogy. I just wasn't able to get started on the new one, but it's also the movies that I had technically seen the most recent before going through the watch through. So there was the information for the movies are still like stuck in my head. Like I don't question myself when talking about like the plot or anything like that of the two movies. But like, man, like because like because I rewatched like Empire Strikes Back recently, man, that movie's a fucking banger,
from
dude.
Start to finish, there's not a dull moment in that movie. Even when it should be dull, when you're on the Dagobah system, it's not. Like, it's still super cool. Not. I love every minute of that movie. Yeah, and I know it's weird great. Because I always say that it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, which everyone always freaks out about because Empire is everyone's favorite Star Wars movie.
Except for the fucking freaks that think A New Hope is the best one. But whatever.
But like, even though it's not my favorite movie, like it's so infinitely rewatchable. If I'm ever gonna watch a Star Wars movie just to watch it, 100% it's gonna be Empire Strikes Back every time.
That's fair.
And like
it's really good. It's easily rewatchable.
It was the first one I ever watched. I watched it when I was 4, I think. I don't remember it because obviously I was 4. I don't have a memory. But yeah, my dad sat my ass on a couch, popped in a little thing called a VHS tape, and forced me to watch this shit because this was when like right around the time Revenge of the Sith was or not Revenge of the Sith. I'm not that fucking young. Right around the time Phantom Menace was coming out. So my dad wanted to get me into Star Wars so we could go see that when it came out. And man, I don't remember like watching the movie, but I remember loving the movie. Like I remember like after I watched Empire Strikes Back, I was just obsessed with Star Wars as a kid for a long time after that. All I wanted to do was play with lightsabers.
Yeah. So, funny little side note, but still, of course, talking about Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back probably started like a period of time that lasted a couple months that I easily could have broken my neck like 6,000 times. And that was after watching Empire Strikes Back. You know the part when he's getting trained and he starts doing flips over the knocked over trees on in Dagobah? So I started doing like somersaults off of the side of the couch like a maniac child. Nice. And yeah, apparently I hurt myself a lot, but I kept doing it because I was like, this will make me a Jedi.
Nice. See, I did this dope thing where after I watched Empire Strikes Back, what I did is I thought I would be cool like Yoda and just jump on people's backs and have them run with me to like train them. And so one time my dad was just like in the kitchen, just doing something in the kitchen. And I run up to him and I go like, I say some stupid shit like, "Oh, train you must." And I jump on his back and he bails hard, like hardcore in the fucking kitchen cabinet. Fucking smacks his head.
That's so fucking funny.
That was great. Thanks, Yoda. Taught
That's
me well.
hilarious. I don't know why, but like because I don't know what you looked like as a child and I've only seen you as an adult, all I can imagine is you now trying to jump on
my
people's
dad's
back
back.
like Yoda.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking funny, dude. Holy shit. That's hilarious. Yeah, The Empire Strikes Back definitely got me to do like a lot of dumb shit.
No, just
But like
movies in
Empire Strikes Back,
man,
that's
thinking back
What?
to when I was a kid, just how dumb, like how much dumb shit I would do just because movies did it and I thought it was cool.
yeah, dude.
What the
Same.
fuck is wrong with this?
Yeah, children were stupid.
Fair enough. Fair play.
Anything else you need to say about Empire Strikes Back?
What I will say about the Empire Strikes Back movie by Star Wars is that, man, Harrison Ford, fucking such a good actor. Like I feel like because people mostly talk about Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and like Harrison Ford, most people love Han Solo. He's most people's favorite characters. But I feel like most people don't appreciate the fact that straight out the bat with A New Hope, fucking Harrison Ford was so in that character. And I feel like with the fact that Han Solo is like my second favorite fucking Star Wars character, Empire Strikes Back is such a good Han Solo movie that
Totally.
like it blows my mind. It's a better Solo movie than the Solo movie.
I feel like it's the movie that has the most Han Solo character development out of all the ones that he appears in.
Absolutely.
You know, like even though like it's, which is so funny to think about this too, because like they end the first movie not really with any inkling that Han Solo and Leia really fancy each other.
Yeah, because it was always supposed to be Luke and Leia. Like the first movie was supposed to be about Luke and Leia getting together.
Exactly. So it's like when the second one comes in and the movie starts, and within minutes, you just get it.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like I'm totally down for it from like because it's not like they don't start the movie immediately and they're like all over each other or whatever. Like it's just like you get it, like the dialogue and how they talk to each other. It's just like these people like each other, but they're in such a unique situation and such a serious situation where they're both, without actually saying it to each other, they're both fully aware of the fact that it's just not the time or place to do that. You know,
the banter between the two of them on Hoth when they're both trying to get out, it's
great.
Some of the best dialogue in all of Star Wars.
And you get another classic Harrison Ford point.
Oh man, he's like the king of pointing.
Dude, it's great.
I want to hire him for my birthday party just to come and point at kids.
And he has the best line in that whole movie.
What was
I
that?
thought you smelled bad on the outside.
Banger.
Dude, that movie's so good. And like, okay, I'm still not. Apparently, I'm still not done talking about Empire Strikes
Yeah, I feel
Back.
like half this podcast is going to talk about this one movie.
It's because it's fucking
It's
great,
good.
man. It's so
Good
good.
shit.
But honestly, though, I actually have like a shit ton to talk about, like for the later movies, so it's fine. But like Empire Strikes Back, like I'm gonna put my dad on blast here for a second.
Watch out.
So as a child, my dad did probably the worst thing possible when showing me Star Wars. So we watched A New Hope because like his idea was that, so like what? It came out in 79? Was it? No. New Hope came out in
77.
like 77. Yeah. So like my dad was about like 6. So his idea was that he was going to show me roughly at the same age, which makes sense. I would definitely say A New Hope out of the 3 original movies definitely is probably the closest to the most kid friendly. I feel like all 3 of them are pretty fucking, like, I wouldn't say kid friendly, but not something I feel like parents should have to shy their kids away from watching.
Yeah.
And like my dad showed me A New Hope. you meet Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you meet Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2D2, C3PO, all these characters. And then before we watch Empire Strikes Back, my dad goes, "Oh yeah, and it's really cool because Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father." Right before we watch Empire. And like as a kid, I had I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. But now as an adult looking back, I'm like, Dad, why you gotta do that to me, man?
That's such a dick move. I love it.
Like, God damn it, Stan. Jesus. What's your problem? Why you gotta ruin it? It's so annoying. But like I know like when like eventually, when I got little kids, I'm not doing that.
Oh, I'm spoiling shit of everything.
I ain't telling them shit, dude.
Straight up.
I'm going to see their little faces melt when they realize that Darth Vader's Han Solo. Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father.
Dude, that'd be an even bigger twist.
Did you hear how they got away with keeping that secret?
No.
All right. Quick little I'll try to keep this quick so you can have your final thoughts on Empire so we can move the fuck on. So when they filmed it on set, only 3 people knew. George Lucas, Irvin Kershner, for people listening, the director, and Mark Hamill. But going into the day, only George Lucas and Irvin Kershner knew. And then the Kersh pulled Mark Hamill aside and was like, "Hey, David Prowse, who's the guy who's in Darth Vader's costume, is going to say," because originally the line in the script was, "No, Obi-Wan killed your father," which also, within how the dialogue works, also makes sense English-wise. So David Prowse says that, but they're like, "But you're actually going to be reacting to this line instead. So he's going to tell you this, but react as if he's saying this." So they filmed the scene, and Mark Hamill, somehow a guy who doesn't shut up, actually kept it secret. He didn't tell his wife. He told no one. And Mark Hamill has the story where they're seeing the release of Empire Strikes Back, and that moment happens, and he's sitting next to Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford looks at him and says, "You didn't fucking tell me that." Because no one knew. Nice. No one fucking knew. They told no one. Like, they had a very, like I said, like, David Prowse was saying the original line in the script, but apparently the whole, "Luke, I am your father" was something that, George had written in the script like a long time ago, but he wanted to keep it secret. Mm-hmm. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like, imagine that. Like, imagine being in the theater, like, in, I think that was like late 70s, early 80s, when that movie came out, being a huge Star Wars fan, having no fucking idea. Dude.
That'd blow your fucking mind.
That'd be fucking sick. That was like, it's kind of how I felt with Han Solo dying in Force Awakens, but we'll get to that when that movie rolls around.
What? He dies?
Do you have any final thoughts on The Empire Strikes Back?
Nah, leave it there.
Nah? Okay.
Good movie.
All right. On to a movie that baby boy over here, Bobby, I've heard he enjoys quite a bit.
I really do.
Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, and I dare anyone to fight me on that, because it is.
I'll fight you. People
are way too harsh on that movie, and I literally don't know why. I see people say shit like, obviously everyone's like, "Oh, fucking Empire Strikes Back is best," which, okay, fine. Empire Strikes Back is really, really good. But, like, what are specifically people's problems with Return of the Jedi? To me, Return of the Jedi is the perfect culmination of the original trilogy with one of the greatest endings in cinema history. Like, that ending is fucking fantastic. People shit on the Ewoks. I know that.
I like the Ewoks.
Yeah, who doesn't like the Ewoks, bro?
even as an adult, I like the Ewoks.
Yeah, Ewoks are fucking awesome. That one weird part where it shows the one that's dead and then the other one's all sad because his best friend died.
It's so sad,
Come on.
dude.
Who's not loving that stuff? Ewoks are adorable. They're super funny. They're violent as shit because they killed a whole shitload of stormtroopers. All in all, that movie's awesome.
I think it's just like, honestly, I think the same people that hate the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, sorry, I just brain fart. Return of the Jedi are the same people that hated the Porgs. Like they're just like,
I hate the Porgs, but I love the Ewoks. I gotta disagree with you on that. I hate the Porgs.
Okay, that's fair. But like, honestly, I don't know why people would hate the Ewoks. Okay,
I
actually,
guess maybe it's because
I can kind of get why people would hate the Porgs. Actually, I'll back off of that one. I'll back off of that one. But like the Ewoks, I don't get it. Like it's not like they're there and they don't serve the plot. So it's like fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid to me, and I assume it's because like people didn't want there to be like the kidification of Star Wars, and Star Wars isn't for kids. Shut the fuck up. Star Wars was always for kids. Like, what Star Wars were you guys watching? A New Hope is it's not a kids movie, but it's not a kids movie either. Like, it's definitely
it's definitely not an adult movie.
Yeah, definitely meant for kids to watch it.
Yeah.
Right. So as a kid, I love the fucking Ewoks, and as an adult, love the fucking Ewoks.
Yeah.
Also,
me too. Like
that movie, okay, that we're talking about right now, Return of the Jedi, has the best lightsaber duel in the entire original trilogy. The end duel with Vader and Luke is a banger.
So good.
So good.
Fucking good, dude.
It's the best one of all of them.
Oh my god.
Anyone that says Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader can shut the fuck up. That one sucked.
That one does suck. Yeah, that oh man, it's so good. That movie's really good. Like I used to dislike Return of the Jedi a lot. Mm-hmm. But then I realized something. I was like, I haven't seen this movie in a really long time. Like when I eventually kind of turned around for that movie, I was like, I haven't seen it in an extremely long time, you know. And then it was like a couple of years ago. Like I rewatched it, and I was like, dude, this movie's fucking really good.
Yeah.
And it like it used to be at the time, because of course like movies like Last Jedi and stuff like that hadn't come out yet. Like it used to be really low on my list. Like Return of the Jedi, which is really weird because when I was a little kid, Return of the Jedi was my favorite. And then it dropped super low when I was like a teenager, basically, all the way until like my late, like when I was like 19, maybe 20. And then I rewatched it and I was like, fuck, this movie's actually really good. Yeah. And now like it's still not my favorite, but it's shot up. It's like, you'll find out when we do our rankings. It's extremely high.
So that's the thing about Return of the Jedi. It sneaks up on you. You don't suspect it. You don't suspect it. All of a sudden you're watching it and you're like, fuck, this is good shit. This is good shit. Actually sucks. One of my favorite YouTubers is this guy. I forget his name. So you know he's my favorite. Anyways, he's like one of those like video essay type guys. Does a lot of stuff about movies. That's Cosmonaut. That's his name, Cosmonaut.
Okay, yeah.
And he has a video called Return of the Jedi Sucks and Here's Why, or something like that. And I've never disagreed with a video more in my entire life. I disagree more with that video than I do about flat Earth evidence videos.
See, like that's one of the problems about like why I try to like when watching like video essay channels, like weird little side note about video essay channels is that like I try to watch some that don't have like a specific like genre that they do videos about. Like I used to watch this other one called High Top Films, but he has some of the, okay, this is gonna sound really dickhead of me, but he has some of the worst opinions on Spider-Man that I've ever fucking seen in my entire life, and I just stopped watching him. So like that's why I still watch people like Nerdwriter or Lessons of a Screenplay, because it's like they're not doing video essays on like critiquing what they're watching. They have a topic that they're doing. Because like, yeah, I ran into the same thing where I'm just like, I fucking disagree a lot. Like he ranked the Amazing Spider-Man movies way too high.
Like, if those two movies aren't at the bottom of the Spider-Man list, you're done fucked up. All right. Anyways,
back to Star Wars.
so my favorite Spider-Man movie.
We should do an episode on Spider-Man
Let's
movies.
do it.
That should be our next one.
Episode 2, Spider-Man.
Yeah, so anything else you need to say about Return of the Jedi before we move on to the hellhole?
That one really weird part in Return of the Jedi where Luke and Vader's lightsabers clash right in front of the Emperor's face, and then there's that really bad dub of like an evil laugh over him smiling, and he's clearly not laughing, but like there's this really weird sound of an evil laugh that's totally not the actor, by the way. No way it's him.
Oh yeah, definitely,
That part's
definitely
cool.
not.
I laugh every time that scene comes up because it's so stupid. I love it.
It is pretty stupid.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say, I know a lot of people don't like it because they don't like the, special edition or whatever, the re-edited ones by George Lucas. Having Hayden Christensen at the end, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love having Hayden Christensen at the end instead of that random old man.
I really well, you know who that random old man is.
Yeah, it was
right?
Darth Vader. I know it was Darth Vader.
No, but it's when they, spoiler for Return of the Jedi, when they take Darth Vader's helmet off?
Yeah.
It's that actor.
Yeah, I know that's him.
Which is not David Prowse, which is fucking dog shit, by the way.
No, fuck
Let me
David
just throw out my
Prowse.
opinion on that.
Fuck David Prowse.
Okay?
He's a piece of shit. My official opinion on David Prowse, bad.
Piece of shit. It was like the dude that played him under the helmet. I also agree with your opinion on that, and I think replacing him with Hayden Christensen after the prequel trilogy makes so much sense, just based on the fact that you see the original actor for a minute or two,
Yeah,
but you
not
see
even.
Hayden
Like,
Christensen
it's-
for 2 full fucking movies. over 5 hours. You see Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. So anybody who complains that there's a lot of changes to the Star Wars movies that I disagree with, a lot of them. On shot first. But that one is one of them that I will forever fight. Whether you liked Hayden Christensen as Anakin or you didn't, it just makes sense.
It
makes
actually
way
should have
more
been
sense.
Jake Lloyd. I'll say that right now. Should have been Jake Lloyd.
Should have been Jake Lloyd.
Hashtag Jake Lloyd for re-edit.
It actually should have been Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Anything else to say about Return of the Jedi? We're gonna move on to.
No, I got nothing else.
All right.
Let's go on.
We had to do it eventually, Jamie.
We had to.
We can't do it without talking about these ones.
Ugh.
So next up, Star Wars
Phantom
Episode
Menace.
1, The Phantom Man-Ass. Dun, dun, dun,
Gungan 69. This movie fucking
Dude,
sucks.
it's fucking terrible. Prequel apologists can
suck my ween.
fucking dick. There's nothing redeemable about this movie, dude. It is a steaming pile of shit all the
And
way
it's funny
through.
too, because for the longest time I was like, oh, the only redeeming part about this movie is the Darth Maul fight. But then when rewatching this movie,
Dude,
I'm
it
like,
sucks.
even that's fucking bad.
It sucks.
They cut away way too much. I have a hot take about this. Okay.
Hit me.
I've been actually seeing some people online lately, especially after the second and most likely, more importantly, the third John Wick movie that's come out. I know, weird poll, but bear with me. And complaining about the action in those movies, saying that they don't like how the action is staged and shot, which I forever will disagree. And the reason why I bring this up compared to Phantom Menace is that Phantom Menace does this, New Hope does this, Empire Strikes Back does this, Return of the Jedi does this, and it's not until the most recent 2 movies when they actually stopped doing this, they cut away from the fight scenes too fucking much. I let it go for New Hope because they had literally nickels left when it comes to putting money towards the fight scenes and the special effects for the lightsabers. So they want to show them enough where you think they look cool, but not too much where you can tell that they actually kind of look like shit. So I let it go. But it's just like literally like in the Darth Maul fight, it's the most egregious where it's like, oh, the fight's picking up. It's real. And all right, war with the Gungans. Sweet.
Who doesn't
like,
want
awesome.
that?
Who doesn't want more fucking Gungans? This is awesome. Great. I'm loving this. But by the way, people listening, if you hear squeaking, it's my fucking chair. But it's just like it's so fucking annoying. And it's like, and they use a character like Darth Maul who would be and eventually does become super cool in a little thing that I'll talk about later. And they use him like fucking garbage.
Yeah. Like, because I remember I hadn't seen Phantom Menace in a long time.
Phantom
I had
Menace?
avoided
Me too.
watching it as much as I could. It's been a long time because I hated that movie even when I was a kid. I hated that movie. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, the movie was shit, but Darth Maul is pretty cool. Then I watched the movie, I'm like, oh, no, Darth Maul is actually not that cool.
Yeah.
He's cool in Clone Wars.
The only time I feel like he's cool in that movie is when... Is it they're on Tatooine? Is that when they're on?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He,
he
jumped off
attacks
that
them as they're
speeder.
getting onto the...
That's cool. That's
fucking
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Especially because it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Exactly. Like, it's absolutely out of nowhere. And it's just like, because it's like, you're not expecting that. It's just like, okay, yeah, they're going to get on the ship. They're going to do a scene on the ship and the movie's going to go, oh! And then Darth Maul shows up and he flips off the bike and he gets into a fight with the Qui-Gon and it's fucking awesome. But it's like, the rest of the movie, Darth Maul is just standing there and he's like, meh.
Yeah, I have 2 lightsabers that are attached. Which also
And, like,
totally lost its cool factor. Over time,
Totally lost
the
its cool
dual
factor.
lightsaber is just not cool anymore.
Well, all right.
It's not cool.
Yes, but I like the concept of the double-sided lightsaber though. I think
but
it's
there's
cool.
cooler
if done right.
lightsabers. Like there's way cooler lightsabers than Darth Maul's.
There is.
Fucking Count Dooku's is cooler. He's got the curved fucking handle. It's way cooler.
I'm more so talking about like the concept of a double-sided lightsaber. His lightsaber, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I feel like the hilt's a little too long.
Dude, it's
but
way
I
too
digress.
long. It's way too long. It was so obvious that there was 2 there. You went, why is
know.
that fucking handle so long? Oh, because it's 2. Fucking Darth Maul.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about moving to the next movie. That's not the elephant. Let's talk about our homeboy. Let's talk about our homeboy.
Jar Jar Binks.
Mr. Jar Jar fucking Binks.
Can I give you
Harris
a
just
fucking...
did a little fucking Gungan dance in the
I give you
hallway.
a spicy take right here, like flaming hot off the grill take.
Okay.
I kind of like Jar Jar Binks. I
the
kind of
worst.
like Jar Jar Binks. Kind of. I don't like him,
worst.
but I kind of like him. He's not terrible.
Here's one thing about the whole Jar Jar Binks scenario. I feel like out of the entire thing, only one person was done dirty of that entire situation. And that was Ahmed Best, the guy who played Jar Jar. He got fucking destroyed after that movie. Like, I feel bad. Like, really, really bad. Like, have you heard some of the shit that people were fucking doing?
It's really
like,
terrible.
Like, he got fucking suicidal, dude.
Yeah, because
Like, it got horrible.
the worst thing is you don't even see his face in the movie.
It's not his fault.
None of it was his fault. 0% his
He's an
fault.
actor. He was told to do something. He fucking did it. And you know what? Performance-wise, I actually think Ahmed Best did a phenomenal job playing that character.
Yeah, George Lucas said,
even-
"Hey, play this stupid piece of shit," and he was like, "I got it." And he played the best stupid piece of shit that he could do.
And like, and the funny thing about it is like, even though like, I understand that it's just like the special effects haven't really aged well, but like even with the special effects not being great, I fully like whenever I watch any of the movies that have Jar Jar in them, my brain completely removes the idea that a human being is playing that character. He did that fucking good. He does the whole movements, he does the voice. He did a great fucking job, and people treated him like shit.
Yeah,
Like
it's terrible.
It just
but
it it's genuinely, it genuinely just like fucking pisses me off that happened.
What I don't understand about why people hate Jar Jar Binks so much is that, like, because, like, obviously, like, yeah, Jar Jar is kind of a stupid character. It's kind of the point of him.
Yeah.
But, like, Boss Nass is way more annoying than Jar Jar Binks ever was, dude. People give Boss Nass too much of a pass, bro. He was the worst.
Boss Nass is the fucking worst.
It's so terrible.
Or the clearly anti-Semitic character in that movie.
Dude, okay.
Watto?
I was going to say this until we got to Attack of the Clones, but fuck it, I'll do it now, okay? Why is George Lucas the racist? Why? Why? Those movies are so racist, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking horrible.
Like, why does that get swept under the rug so much? The fact that those movies are incredibly racist.
And you know what's funny, too? If you look at the movies that either he didn't direct, but he just wrote, or he had no creative input into them. So that's saying Empire, Return, and the new trilogy.
Yeah, weirdly not racist at all.
Weirdly not racist. Fucking is it Empire? Yeah, in Empire, Lando's fucking cool, dude.
Dude, he fucking walks on. He's so dope cool. Right when he comes in. Fucking no one gives a shit. Then George Lucas writes and directs one, and there's some freaking floating Jew guy going, "Oh, to buy my stuff." Like, dude,
it's fucking.
What are you
horrible.
doing, George? What are you doing? You can't do that.
Oh my God.
And the weird Japanese ones. What's up with why it's the Japanese ones that are all like imperialistic and like wanting to kill the dude? Why? Why do you have to have the evil Japanese characters?
I totally forgot about those guys. Holy shit.
It's terrible. And then Attack of the Clones, there's those weird, like, tall white ones that are Chinese for some reason. Like, George.
With the long necks?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that make the clones. Yeah.
Now, I will say, I don't get what people think. Some people think that Jar Jar is racist. I don't think Jar Jar's a racist character.
I don't think Jar Jar's
like,
racist
some people
either.
were, like, saying he's a racist stereotype of, like, Jamaicans. I didn't get that at all from Jar Jar Binks. But the other shit, 100%. Watto.
The other shit, 100%, no
Watto
question.
Watto is
no
one of the most
question.
racist characters in fucking fiction history. It's ridiculous.
God. Dude, Watto's the worst. And you know what's, like, super annoying? And, like, I'm just going to touch on this real quick before we go on to the worst movie ever made. Is it was just so fucking annoying. And this is just my thoughts on George Lucas as a whole, is George Lucas as a base idea person does great work. Concept-wise, he can really make up, like, a great concept.
Yeah.
But it's the execution is where he fails. But people keep giving him the ability to execute his ideas. Because if you look at any other time where someone, either he wrote something and someone directed it, or he created something and then someone took his creation and ran with it, it's significantly better than what he originally did.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are significantly better than A New Hope, without question, no matter what. And I understand people's thoughts on The Force Awakens and especially The Last Jedi, and we'll get to those when those happen, but as we talked about when it comes to Force Awakens is a better New Hope. What fucking movie out of the original trilogy did that motherfucker direct?
Yeah.
A New Hope. Like,
he actually might be, because there's a lot of talk right now about, like, the higher ups at Lucasfilm, and some people want there to be a shakeup and who's running the thing.
A lot of people want to see Kathleen Kennedy moved away.
And we'll probably talk about that, like, once those movies are coming up.
Yeah.
But honestly, for a position like Kathleen Kennedy's position, if she's gonna have to go, fucking get George Lucas to do it, because at that position where he's overseeing things and he's just a big picture guy, he's fucking phenomenal at that.
I
He's
think he
so
would do
good at that shit.
Fantastic job.
It's the specifics that he cannot do to save his life, and that's what fucked up the prequels. Is the fact that fucking Ron Howard was a fucking Ron Coward and didn't want to direct the fucking movies. Forced George Lucas
Ron
to
Howard
do it. Yeah,
Ron Howard was going to do him?
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be either Steven Spielberg, I believe Frank Darabont, who did The Shawshank Redemption,
What?
and Ron Howard. Those are the three, I think. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong in the Frank Darabont one, but I know specifically it was Spielberg and Ron Howard.
Fucking Christ!
So how much better would those movies have been?
That would have been so good.
And
that would have been so good.
It was their direct fault because they were telling George, like, no, like Star Wars is your thing. You deserve to direct it. Like, it deserves to be your vision, uncompromised. Well, you just fucking see what happens when George Lucas's vision is uncompromised. You get Death Stranding. You fucks. All right, let's.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
that's so annoying.
let's get this over with.
Let's get this over
Talk
with.
about the worst one.
All right,
worst one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried. I tried. I genuinely did. Okay? I want you to take a guess. So the movie's about 2:15, so about 2 hours 15 minutes between 2.5.
Yeah.
I want you to take a guess. And a genuine guess.
Okay.
Genuine guess.
Okay.
How long I lasted Price is Right rolls.
I'm gonna say you got 57 minutes into the movie.
25.
Jesus Christ.
25. 20. Bobby, 25 minutes I made it into that movie, and I fucking turned it off.
It is.
I turned it off.
Horrible.
Wait, actually, I think I can pull up the exact minutes and seconds if I pull up my Disney Plus, because it should still be there. Yeah, 25 minutes I made it into that movie, and I was
Nice.
like, fuck this. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
It's so bad. It's unbelievable to me
Oh, I don't think
that this movie
it's
actually
my
got
time.
released this way. It blows my mind.
Oh, sorry, I was wrong. 26:14.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now I know you're a liar. So
Yeah, I know. I'm the worst. Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's fucking so
There-
bad.
I've never seen a movie with less redeemable qualities than this one.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
agree.
can't think of a thing I like about it. It's hard. Like I
Yeah.
say, if I think really, really hard, I could maybe say I don't hate all the shit on like Coruscant where they're chasing that girl in the fucking car, but even that looks like shit. Like
Yeah.
that's my least hated part of the movie is when they're chasing that girl on Coruscant. That's it. Every other part of the movie
Yeah.
is
And that's
horrible.
fucking early, too. That's early as shit.
yeah. Also,
Yeah, dude.
they made one of the weirdest decisions of all time in this movie, and I still
that?
don't understand. I'm never gonna get over it. Why the fuck did they turn Yoda into like a fucking anime character flipping around everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would they do that? I was so
you-
excited when they're in that Count Dooku's hangar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which should have been a cooler fight than it was with Anakin with the two lightsabers. Should have been cooler.
Oh, totally.
It was shot horribly. It looked like shit. But then fucking Yoda comes in and Yoda takes out his little mini Yoda lightsaber, and I was like, because I was a kid when this movie came out. I think I was like 8 when this movie came out. I was fucking so hyped. I was like, oh fuck,
Oh, hell
Yoda's
yeah.
gonna fuck some shit up. And I expected like a nice classic, nice lightsaber duel, like one you would see in the original trilogy where it was like less about like cool moves and it was more just about like the skill of the saber. Nah. You got Flippy Dippy Yoda.
Yeah, dude. Got Flippy Dippy Yoda.
Like it's got to be a thing where like in canon he like uses the force to flip around, because there's no way his feeble little bitch ass knees are doing that. The dude's like 800 years old or whatever.
Oh, dude, he's so much older than that. Dude, like, it's insane. Like, he died at either just about or over 1,000 years old.
Like
He trained younglings for the Jedi Council for 700 years straight.
so how's he flipping around like that?
I don't know, dude.
No, I'll say okay.
Oh,
I'll say
soup.
what?
I said soup. Get
Okay.
it, Mandalorian?
Okay, fair
Anyways,
enough.
keep going.
So I will say, actually, I'll take that back. One thing I like about the movie is Count Dooku's lightsaber, because I said that earlier.
They're pretty sick.
It's cool. It's a cool lightsaber. He's got a cool lightsaber. But again, that's it. What do you got to say about this movie, Jamie? The one you watched 26 minutes of?
It's the worst one out of the entire franchise.
Yeah, hands down.
I will physically fight someone if they try to say that The Last Jedi is worse than Attack of the Clones.
Oh, dude, 100% people think that.
I actually have movies. Little sneak peek for people listening right now about my list. I'm not going to say exactly when, but I have at least, at minimum, 2 movies out of the franchise that are lower on the list than Last Jedi.
But none are lower than this pile of dump.
But none of them are lower than Attack of the Clones.
I fucking hate sand, dude. It's rough.
It's
coarse.
coarse. It
it's
gets
irritating,
everywhere.
and it just gets everywhere. Let's move.
I killed them all.
And the children too. All right, let's move on.
You know what really sucks? I'm not moving on yet. You know what really sucks about that? Okay, this is another time in the franchise that I'm going to compare it, especially because this is the one that takes place closest to the series, is the Clone Wars animated series. You know what's another thing that show does better?
What's that?
Anakin struggling with the dark side. That show does that perfectly, and that's why I've been trying to get you to watch the show for so ham-fisted lately, because it's just like I just finished an arc that the entire arc is about Anakin struggling with his pull towards the dark side. There is straight up spoilers. There is straight up a part of that arc where he actually gets shown what happens to him, but his memory gets taken away by the Force.
Interesting.
It's not a great description of it. It sounds kind of corny, but it's a great episode, part of a great arc called the Mortis arc. It's fantastic. And it's like there's so many moments where it's like there's even times too in the show where he does something that definitely shows that he's leaning more towards the dark side slowly but surely as the show progresses, but it's still technically a good thing. And it's just like, and the show does it so much better, his back and forth with, dark side, light side. And it's like, one of the things that the show does that I feel like the trilogy didn't do, and they should have done, is Anakin wants to be good. He wants to do good things. And he wants to be on the light side. But it's his demons are what pulls him towards the dark side. But the fucking movies don't show that.
That is the weirdest thing to me, because, none of the movies, not even Revenge of the Sith, which is the best of the 3, does anything with Anakin struggling with the light and the dark. It's pretty much, if you watch it, thinking trying to find spots where Anakin is struggling with his light and dark side and being pulled to it's not there. He's pretty much always an asshole in all 3 of the movies. The only time he's really not an asshole is when he's a child, and he's it's hard to be an asshole when you're a child, right? Like an evil asshole. You're obviously an asshole as a kid, but a genuinely evil person. But in 2 and 3, he's pretty much just evil the whole time. There's no part in those movies where I think, Anakin really wants to be a good guy. There's none of that. This just doesn't exist in those movies. It's horrible. And
it's riddled throughout the animated series. So one of my biggest complaints, and I guess we'll use this as the vehicle to get into Revenge of the Sith, is in Revenge of the Sith, one of my favorite / least favorite lines in the entire movie is during their fight on Mustafar, when Obi-Wan refers to Anakin as his brother and his friend. That is both my favorite line, because it shows how much Obi-Wan loved Anakin. He did. Like, he had appreciation for him outside of being another Jedi. You know, because he raised him. Like, that's just how it is. But the reason why I dislike it so much is they never show that aspect of the relationship in the movies. Occasionally, once in a while, once in a blue moon, Anakin will do something, Obi-Wan will react to it kind of like as that like goofy uncle, and that's fucking it.
Yeah, there's like that one scene they're in like an elevator and they're like joking with each other. That's it. That's all the friendship you get. Is them joking in a fucking elevator.
The animated series, on the other hand, the show is full, like to the rim, with Anakin and Obi-Wan just chatting, just banter back and forth. They make Obi-Wan fucking hilarious, but like a dry sense of humor, like humor that would make sense. But it's just like it and it's so annoying because I didn't want to like compare the animated series to the movies when doing this podcast, but Bobby, they forced my fucking hand, okay? They forced my fucking hand by making bad movies and then giving a great team of writers the ability to do whatever they wanted. And guess what?
It's good.
They got a huge fandom over it, and now they're fucked. Bless you, Paris. Now they're fucked. Like, it's so annoying. Anyways, you talk about Revenge of the Sith while I fucking cool down.
Yeah. You need to go and decompress a little bit.
I gotta grab my water bottle anyways. You keep talking. I can still hear you.
Okay, so episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I'm pretty like everyone agrees it's the best of the prequel trilogy. I don't think anyone is sticking up for any of the other two movies.
But Attack of the Clones, Bobby.
Not to the degree that they would say it's better than Revenge of the Sith, okay? Like, yeah. I understand there are prequel apologists that want to say that there's qualities of the two movies that you can appreciate, whatever. That's fine. No one should be saying that Revenge of the Sith isn't the best of the three, because Revenge of the Sith is not only the best of the three, it's actually a good movie. Like,
it is.
It is a good, solid Star Wars movie. All the way through.
Yeah. I 100% agree. It's
especially love how unapologetically dark it is.
Me too.
Like, it is dark. Like, it is an evil movie, man. Like, especially once you get into the Order 66 scenes, it's fucking straight up depressing how dark that movie gets.
When Anakin just straight up fucking murks all those kids.
Yeah, and then like he turns around, you see his eyes have gone all yellow. Like, that's some shit right there. Also,
dude, shoot that stuff right into my fucking veins, dog.
Dude, inject that right into the tip of my foreskin. I'll take it all. Okay. It's a fantastic movie, and also has the best arc of, like, I would say of the three movies, this is the best single movie arc for Anakin.
Totally.
Yeah, of him having the dreams, and then Palpatine catching on to that and manipulating him, and like it's more of a slow burn in this movie than I feel it like in the other movies, where it was just like he was just in one mood the whole movie. In the other ones, this one it's more of a slow, gradual thing, and I really like that. And yeah, this is just a solid ass movie, man.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too. Like a lot. It has it's got the best story. It has the best fight scene of
the whole franchise.
The entire prequel trilogy.
Nope, franchise. There, I said it.
I wouldn't say franchise.
Whole franchise.
But that's your opinion, and I respect your opinion. I just have a differing one.
What? No, we have to punch each other over that.
Start punching my microphone. But like the fight on Mustafar is definitely up there with one of my favorites, though, easily, without question. And it's just so good. It's the first time out of the three movies where I really felt that they let Ewan McGregor be an actor. because in the first movie and the second movie, the dialogue is atrocious.
And in this one,
the dialogue's not
much
perfect.
better in this one, but Obi-Wan's is.
But Obi-Wan's is significantly better. And they really and because of that, they let Ewan McGregor fucking act. And okay. Hot take. I think Ewan McGregor was fucking born to play Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. I do think I honestly think that.
Alec Guinness can suck my balls.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Anybody else who's played Obi-Wan Kenobi has done a great job. Whether it's, what was the guy? Alec Guinness?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Guinness.
Brain fart. Literally just heard it. Alec Guinness, or it's the guy who voices Obi-Wan in the animated series, or that same guy who voices Obi-Wan Kenobi in all the video games. Mm-hmm. Whoever it is, they all do a great job. But just no one can do it like Ewan McGregor did. And he really and this movie is the one that made me love that character. Mm-hmm. Was Revenge of the Sith. I kind of enjoyed him in New Hope, but he was the sage old man. That was his character. And in Phantom Menace, he was the trainee, but they didn't really give him a lot. In Attack of the Clones, it's just a bad movie, and they make him a very poorly written character. But in Revenge of the Sith, that's where Obi-Wan really shines, which is important that he does that, because he is as important to that story as Anakin is. They are equally as important to Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. Without either one, the story just doesn't work, because it has to be Obi-Wan who has to fight him on Mustafar. It has to be Obi-Wan who fights him. It cannot be anybody else. It doesn't make sense if it isn't. And the movies are so fucking good, man. It's so good.
It really is.
It's so fucking good, dude.
And yeah, you can tell that's because I use the term prequel apologist a lot. You can really tell just a prequel hater if they just only talk shit about Revenge of the Sith, because Revenge of the Sith doesn't have the problems that the other two in the prequel trilogy have. It's its own. Doesn't. I could almost throw away the first two and just have Revenge of the Sith be the only prequel. Just have it be the only one, and it works, because I think you have the obviously you don't have the origin of where Anakin comes from, but to me, Attack of the Clones is completely throwaway regardless.
Yeah, no matter what.
And
Phantom Menace or not,
and Phantom Menace doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So you can just have Revenge of the Sith be the canon prequel, and it works out so well, because that movie has its own self-contained arc of Anakin turning to the dark side that the other two movies aren't needed. They're really unnecessary when you watch that movie.
Totally.
And I love how in that movie they don't paint the Jedi as just this 100% correct, they're right about everything.
Totally.
They do have flaws. The Jedi aren't perfect. They do fuck up, and there is some problems with them that needs to be, addressed. I fucking love that movie.
It's a really, really, really good movie. Honestly, this is kind of making me want to watch it again. But it's great. It's really, 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 really fucking good.
Some of the dialogue during that final scene is a bit cringy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I have the high ground, Anakin. Shit like that. Specifically the scene where it's Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme. That's where I feel like that scene is at its lowest. Yeah. The dialogue during the fight is still pretty clunky, but it's excusable. I let it go, because the dialogue at least is meaning something to the plot. What?
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. No human talks like that. People don't talk like that.
Exactly. But it's also, I feel like it's the one fight scene out of the entire prequel trilogy where like you feel the weight of how important it is. You know, Phantom Menace, the Darth Maul fight isn't important, and you don't feel the weight until Qui-Gon dies, which is halfway through. You know, but like with Revenge of the Sith, like
that whole fight all the way
before
through.
they even start fighting, you can feel it. You know, you can feel the weight behind it. It's important. You know, yes, of course, adding in the fact that, you know, this is genuinely the point when Anakin Skywalker actually dies and Darth Vader is born. Yes, he was given the name previously and he killed the younglings and all this kind of stuff. But this is when Anakin Skywalker dies and Darth Vader is born. So it's super important. But before they even ignite their lightsabers, the fight is, you can already feel the tense. You know, it's fucking great, man. It's
That's
so
what
good.
a lot of the lightsaber duels in the series like not even just in the prequels or in the sequels, like just in general in the franchise. Too many lightsaber duels just don't have meaning behind them. Like there's no importance behind the duel, and that's what I think this one does so well. Because like visually, it is fucking dope as shit too. Like that helps the fact that they're surrounded by lava and it's fucking.
I also feel
cool.
like it's the best choreographed fight scene, at least in the prequels.
To me, it's the one where you really feel like both of the people in the duel are like straight up masters at their craft. Like both of them are on equal footing. You know, they're both at their absolute peak of, you know, the ability to battle, and it's the best. Like that's why I think it's the best in the entire franchise.
Well, that's why, like, and I think you probably like this tidbit of information as well. In the novelization for the movie, they dive a little deeper into why the fight is so back and forth, not just based on the point that you made, which is definitely a factor into it, which is the fact that they're both masters at their craft. Anakin specifically being a master in the offense and Obi-Wan being a master in the defense, is the fact that they've been training for over a decade with each other. They know, Obi-Wan knows every single one of Anakin's flaws, and Anakin knows every single one of Obi-Wan's flaws. And Obi-Wan is not trying to exploit those, but Anakin is. But Obi-Wan knows that. And that's something that they talk about in the novelization a lot. And one of the biggest things, too, is that final moment in the fight scene where Anakin is still on that tram thing and Obi-Wan has the high ground. And they talk about in the novelization that that Obi-Wan at that moment, and the reason why he says the things he says during that time when he's on the hill and Anakin is down there, is that he recognizes Anakin's arrogance and his cockiness, that he knows he will still jump at him. And Obi-Wan knows that if Anakin jumps at him, Anakin's going to lose. He's fully aware of that. But those final moments of dialogue is him, without directly saying it, it's him basically trying to tell Anakin, you're going to lose, don't do it.
Yeah.
And it's makes that final moments in the scene super ominous and depressing.
Yeah.
And like another moment where the series is enhanced by the people that Lucasfilms and LucasArts, like they're giving these people, oh yeah, you can do this thing, but it's not super important. But then they turn out something that either improves it or is better than the original product. Which is why I think it's so good that Dave Filoni is working on The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and I've heard his name get thrown around in terms of people to replace Kathleen Kennedy as the head of Lucasfilm. Like,
I would be so fucking down.
Give it to like the dude. He was handpicked by George Lucas to replace him.
Yeah,
you know,
and he gets. He was he was also handpicked by Jon Favreau to work on the show.
Yeah, like, and the fans love him too. Like, there's none of the fans would be mad if Kathleen Kennedy got taken out for Dave Filoni.
That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I think that's good enough for the prequels. You know, there were some downs and there were some ups. Mostly downs.